Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Simply BI. My name is Harshit and today we are going to learn about the context in Power BI. Okay, so this is the part 2 of the video of the DAX series. Okay, so now if we talk about context is like it is a very basic concept to understand that how the DAX functions works basically. Now DAX functions they work on two contexts. Okay, you can see here one is the row context or it is the filter context. Okay, and some functions they work on both like row and filter context. Now row context, okay, if we see that row context, it basically what it do is it looks for the current row only, and such kind of functions we use in measures. Okay, now if we talk about measures, what are measures? They are just calculations. Okay, now in if we talk about the filter context, okay, so in addition to row context, when you want to filter the data also, like for example you want to do the sum of the total sales. Okay, you did the summation of the line total and now you have the total sales value, but this is a row context. Now what you want is you want something like total sales, sum of summation of line total column, but only for US and UK. Okay, so here we are adding the filter. Okay, so now addition to this row context, filter context is like where you want to calculate a specific value based on some defined filters. Okay, row context, it is like you are calculating the sum or average of any specific column. If you talk about the filter context, it works along with the row context, just like you are calculating the average sales or anything, but you do not include, let's say, particular region or particular country. You are adding some filters over here. Okay, so now let's go to Power BI. So now you can see here we have two tables over here. One is the orders table and one is the people's table, and you can see it has a one-to-many relationship between them. Okay, so we have two tables here and we can create only three things using the DAX. Okay, so let's see what are those three things. So here, if you go to this modeling tab over here, okay, and you can see you can create a new measure over here, you can create a new column over here, and you can create a new table over here. Okay, and already we have created the relationship between these two tables. Now, the best practice to follow when you want to work with DAX function or you want to write the expression, then you must be in the data window. Okay, this one. Now, why this is in the data window? Because when you will be in this tab, you will be able to see the data model. Okay, wherever you create any column, you can see wherever you are doing any measures, you can see. Okay, so these things you can you should be in the data window. Okay, now we have this orders table over here. Okay, let me select the table. Yeah, it is selected. So we have this orders table over here. Okay, and if I scroll further, I have this sales column, I have this quantity column, I have a discount, and I have a profit column as well. Okay, so let's do some modification first. Let's rename the sales column as unit price. Yeah, great. Okay, now it's changed. Now what I want is I want to calculate the total profit. Okay, so here you can see I have highlighted the profit column, and what I want is I want to do the summation of this profit column. Okay, what is the total value for this? Now, because why I'd want to do that? Because maybe that value, okay, that calculated value, it will be required for further calculation also. Okay, so I will be creating a measure over here. Now, you might be having a question like, why are we creating a measure? Why not a column? Okay, so let us understand. Like, let's try to create a column first. Okay, so how can you do that? Okay, so here you can see select the column. Okay, now go to this tables tool tab over here and click on new column. Okay, great. You can see a column has been added. Now let us write the column name first. So we want, let's say, total profit column. Okay, total profit equals to, okay, now what I want the sum of all the profit. Okay, so I will add the sum function. Okay, and then I'll add the profit column over here. Okay, just scroll down and you can see a profit column, this one. Great. Now close this and click on enter. Now you can see here that at the end, okay, the profit column is created and the value, okay, is it is appearing in all of the rows over here. Okay, why it is appearing? Because this is a row context. It calculated the sum of all the records and populated it in all the rows. It means that if you create a column for such kind of calculation, it's not a good approach. You need to create the measure for it. Okay, so what we learned is when you want to do such kind of mathematical calculations, okay, or you want to uh, create some function which works in row context, then you have to create the measure. Okay, so let me just copy this expression. Okay, now what I will do is I'll create a measure. Okay, So we go to this tables tool and you can see new measure. Click on this. Okay. Now just copy paste it. Okay. So one thing to note here that your column name and measure name should not be same. Okay. We have just created a column with the name total profit. Okay. But we are creating a measure. If I click on enter, it will throw me an error. Okay. See, rename measure because total profit is already used for a column on table. Okay. So now close this. We will just edit this over here. Okay. We'll write a M. We are creating a measure and now click on enter. Great. Now what you can see here that I have clicked on enter and a measure has already been created. Okay. But what you cannot see that you cannot see any physical value of that measure. Okay. So it is not a physical part of your table. It's just a calculated value. Okay. So let's see how can we visualize this? How can we use this measure? Now go to this report view. Let's select a card. Okay. Great. Now here, what I can do is you can see here in the orders table, a measure has been created with the name total profit M. Just drag and drop over here. Okay. Now you can see the total profit value is 1.47 million. So let's see that what happens if I select select a card again, and this time I am going to drag and drop the calculated column. Okay, the column which we have created, total profit column. So let's see that. So first we take up this over here. And this time what we are going to do, we are going to add the total profit column over here. So just drag and drop. Now you can see that what it is showing. It is showing that the sum in billions. It is the wrong data, right? But if the error is from the source only, then you can make some changes. How you can make some changes? You can see here that in this build a visual tab, there is a field option. Okay. So it's saying that sum of orders, but we don't want the sum. So we can just click on this, and in aggregation, there are so many aggregations you can select from. We want the maximum value. So we'll just select on maximum. And now you can see that it is showing the correct data. Okay. This thing you can modify it, but let's say if there is an error in the source data, okay, then only you can make some changes. Like the one we have created a calculated column, okay, it is not suggested for such kind of mathematical functions or such kind of mathematical calculations. Please, we will be using the measures only. Okay, great. Now, one thing to note here is, okay, let's go to this data table view again. Okay. So you can see here that we have created a total profit column. Now, what I'll do here is I'll go to this transform tab. Okay, just a second. Yeah. So now what I'll do is I have created a total profit column. I'll go to this transform tab. Now in the orders table, I have created a profit column, right? But that profit column is not visible over here. Okay, the column will not appear. Why? Because we have created that column using that DAX. Okay, and using whatever column you are creating using the DAX, you will not be able to see in the Power Query editor. Okay, so this is the limitation with DAX. Okay, so I hope this context concept is clear to everyone. So if you have any questions, if you have anything to ask, please post your doubts in the comment section. I'll be happy to help. Okay. So that's it for this video. Like and subscribe for more.